All right. Hello. Just going to show you some of the attacks we're going to be, the three attacks we're going to be focusing on tomorrow. These are all sort of TH9 versions. None of them are done particularly well, but as we go through the videos, we're going to take a look at the troop comps and some of the keys to pulling these strategies off properly. So we're going to start first with the Gobo La Lune. And so for the TH9 version, the troop comp obviously will be different for TH10. A lot of the objectives are still going to be the same, and definitely how to get the attack rolling is going to be pretty much the same from Town Hall 8 up to 10 or 11. First, we're going to look at how to get your troops in effectively, and I'm going to come in across this side here. There's going to be a couple golems and 4 wizards. That's all you, except under exceptional circumstances, you don't need to use any more troops than that to set your funnel. And I'll show you how to do that now. One golem is going to come down around here, this area, and it's going to make sure that these defenses here, not the wizard tower, but these 2 defenses here are going to be tanked, as is this mortar. And the other one's going to come down around here, which ensures that these 3 defenses and the mortar are also going to be tanked. In other words, all of the damage is going at your golems. The only thing that's going to cause a wall breaker fail at this point is a little bomb or like a spring trap. It also means that your wizards, because there's only 4 of them, are not going to be taking any damage whatsoever, and they'll be able to clear up the funnel. So let's see how this goes. I'm coming in from this side because for the Gobo La Lune, you're going to want to take down the queen, the CC, and 2 air defenses. So coming in from here, I'm going to get the queen, I'm going to get that air defense. The jump I'm going to place sort of in between there to direct the troops to come towards this second air defense here. Those are your main objectives with the kill squad portion of the Gobo La Lune. If you're not able to get at least that, this is probably not the attack to use. So let's see how it goes. Okay, in comes that one golem, and you can see all of those defenses are being tanked. In comes the next one, and those wizards come down to flank it. So if you'll notice, the golem is roughly there, and the wizards came down outside of it. And same over here, the golem is here, and the wizards came down outside. You want to burn the buildings on the outside of the golems. They will move in, the wizards, I mean, will move in, and you have your heroes and your kill squad. It's almost like leaving a little landing strip so that your troops have nowhere else to go but the middle buildings, and that's going to ensure that they're going to continue to go into the center. When funneling when funneling bowlers, you always want to come in from a flat side. Getting bowlers in on a corner is virtually impossible. It's very difficult. So here we go. Everything's in play. Down goes the jump. Down goes that rage, and then the heal. And so we've taken down queen, the CC, and that second air defense. So at this point, the air portion can start pretty much any time now. I think I delay it a little bit to see how much further the kill squad can get in. You're going to want to look at what the easiest set of pathing is going to be to take down for your air, to take down the final couple AD and sort of rotate the balloons in through the base. I made a mistake. I'm going to bring the Lava Hounds in here. I probably should have come in from this side because this air sweeper is going to be pushing against the loons and the hounds that I bring in. I used a haste to speed them in. It wasn't a big deal, but it's something to be cognizant of when you're trying to determine where do I bring the back end of the air attack, and you don't want to come in directly at a sweeper. So in comes one lava hound, in comes two lava hounds. It's key that you bring in both hounds on one AD. You don't want to split them up. And as those loons come in, we're going to haste them in as fast as possible to get to that AD. And down comes that last haste there. Probably not the best placement, but it did the job. And from here on out, it's pretty much just clean up. Now my second hound didn't pop, which was kind of a pain in the butt. Ideally, you want them both to pop. Sometimes they don't. You'll notice I brought 3 minions in for cleanup. And this is true for hogs. This is true for loons. You're going to want to try and drop the cleanup troops where on the opposite side from where your defense targeting troops, so your loons or your hogs, are going to finish. So the last defense, the loons just cleared here, which means they're going to be able to have pretty much ready access to these trash buildings. So you want to make sure that your cleanup troops are on the opposite side so that they don't have to travel so much at the end and you don't run out of time. So I'm just going to fast forward this, and you'll see that there, I do end up getting the 3-star, despite the fact that the loon didn't pop, or the hound didn't pop. Okay, so there we go. So that's the Gobo La Loon in 5 minutes, basically. And we'll do a lot of practice with this sort of stuff. So now we're going to move on to a Gobo-Ho. Now, again, you'll see, whoops. Let's restart this. So we're looking at 2 golems, 24 hogs, 8 wizards and 4 wall breakers, and you're running bowlers in the CC. So the golems, 4 wizards only for the funnel, just like we did in the last video, exactly the same strategy and whatnot in terms of how to get your bowlers in and your heroes in without them walking. You're going to put down sort of 1 golem here to tank these defenses, 1 golem in and around here to tank these defenses, and then wizards flanking them on the outside. You're going to send the wall breakers in between. Something to note about the wall breakers is that they target defenses. They don't target walls. So if I were to drop the wall breakers sort of in and around here, they would probably go to this as it's being the closest defense. If I were to drop them closer to these guys, they would go to the builder huts because they are the closest defense. They don't target walls, they target the closest defense on the other side. With some exceptions, and I'm not going to go into that. There are really good videos on how to path wall breakers if you're interested, but that's sort of something to keep in mind. Your objectives for running the Gobo-Ho are to take out the queen, the CC, ideally the bomb tower. If you can get the king as well, that would be great. I'm not sure if I do in this raid. And any obvious giant bomb spots, because that's what's going to screw with your hogs on the back end. The other thing to consider is how to cut off the base so that you have good pathing for the rest of the hound or the rest of the hogs to, like, you can predict where they're going to go. They're all going to be clumped up and able to be healed pretty much all at the same time with the 2 heal spells you have left. So I come in here, I'm looking to get the queen, hoping to drop that bomb tower. If I get the king, great. I think it might be a long shot in this case. I'm assuming that my kill squad is going to want to go in. I drop a jump in and around here, but I don't think it really gets used. The kill squad tends to go up and around, which is fine. And I'll bring my hogs in around there, there, and they'll path in a counterclockwise motion all the way down back to here. So let's watch it. Okay, so something that's important is that once you've busted that hole in, you want your golems to enter before your heroes and definitely before your bowlers, because if there are giant bombs on the other side of that wall, you want your golems to soak up the power or soak up the damage and not your bowlers. Your bowlers die very quickly to giant bombs. So the golems go in, the heroes come down, down go the bowlers, down goes the jump, poison for the queen. You save that second poison in case there are skeleton traps, or to use on the king, because the hogs are not going to stop to take down the skeletons. They're not going to stop to take down the king until every defense has been dropped. So as soon as you see a ground skeleton trap pop and you're running hogs, immediately poison it. Otherwise, it can kill a raid faster than anything else. So here we go. We're going to use the king ability here in a second. And we're going to bring these hogs in while some of these defenses are still being tanked. So about 4 to 5 hogs. And then down come the heals. Still 1 heal left. Probably don't need to use it, but why not? And you'll notice I bring in those extra 4 wizards on that back end here where the hogs are not going to finish up. Although I didn't account for that last air sweeper there, so they ended up in the middle anyways. And as you can see, it's pretty much just all clean up from here. Okay, so the final attack we're going to be looking at is the Witch Slap. Despite this being TH10, despite this being TH9, this attack still works at TH10. You just have to supplement some of the witches with bowlers. Again, we can play through this and figure out what the best way to do that is, but for now I'm just going to show you sort of the basics with the TH9 version. And so here we go. We're looking at running 10 witches in this version. You can switch up the comp a little bit, but certainly no less than 8 witches. And we're going to drop 5 in this corner here with 2 healers on them. 5 in this corner here with 2 healers on them. And then we're going to come in sort of in and around here with our golem and our heroes and our bowlers. Things to look for. 1, you want the wizard towers to be inset so that they're not going to be able to shoot down your skeletons. And you want the air defenses to be inset so they're not going to kill your hero or your healers. The next thing to look for is whether or not you can jump all the way through the base with 2 jumps. If you can't, you should or if any of those AD or wizard towers are on the outside, you should probably be looking at a different comp. As it is, we can wall break in sort of in through this area here, and we'll jump around there, and we'll jump again around there. It's a pretty simple attack once you get it. The idea is that all 3 moving parts, which we'll see in a second, should be moving at roughly the same speed. I'm running 2 rage and 2 jumps. You can do 2 jumps, a rage and a heal. Really depends on what you're comfortable with or the level of defenses, but I mean, like you'll get the feel for that as you practice with the comp. So let's take a look at how it goes. And down come the 5 witches. I accidentally just dropped 1 healer there. I think I fixed that in a minute. And on the other side, 5 witches down, 2 healers. I brought that golem down probably a little bit early. I could have waited for some of the skeletons to clear a little bit more of the trash. It's okay. Down come the wall breakers. The wall is broken. There's still trash buildings up, so I drop a wizard to help to make sure that those bowlers are not going to walk. Down they come. And in this attack, you want to make sure that the king comes last. You want that king to be up for as long as possible, and having your bowlers out in front, at least at the beginning, is a good way to keep him up longer than he normally would be. And so we jump into the core. I'm going to rage again in the core, and you'll notice that the witches are still up and healed. We're going to jump out of the core, and this poor guy just got slaughtered. And these are max defenses for TH9, so this is a very effective strategy if the base is right for it. And at this point, it's pretty much just cleanup, so we're going to go ahead and speed through. So those are the 3 comps we're going to be working on, and while we work on the comps, there are things that I think we all need to be paying more attention to. What is the cheapest and easiest way to create a funnel? In the first 2 cases, it's the 2 golems and the 4 wizards. And again, you want to cut the outside buildings and leave some in the center. Make sure that your golems are tanking all of the possible defenses that could hit your wall breakers, because otherwise the wall breakers will die. And then once that's happened, let your golems go in first, and then start to bring down the heroes and your and bowlers or whatever it is. You want those golems to soak up the damage. That's all they're there for. They're not there for anything else. Determining which type of base is best for which type of attack. So in the case of the Gobo Laloon, you have to be able to take down 2 air defense, the queen, and the CC at a minimum, and ideally have a decent set of pathing for the loon portion, the hound and loon portion of your attack. For the Gobaho, you want to be able to take down the queen, the CC, any giant bombs that you're aware of if it's a second hit, or you can guess from scouting the base and it's a first hit. Try and take down that bomb tower. If you can get the king, that'd be great. Sometimes you can screw up a hog raid. And then again, it's creating like an obvious path for your hogs to flow in. If they're working in a pack, they're much easier to heal. Point damage doesn't affect them as much because, I mean, like an archer tower can only pick off 1, and if you've got 15 hogs and they're only shooting at 1, then 14 are being shielded by that 1 hog. So running them in a pack like that is a really good idea. And yeah, I mean, like determining when to use a witch slap, determining when to use any attack, you have to think of what am I going to get for the kill squad portion? What am I going to get or what do I need to do with the back end portion? So base identification, funneling, just simple mechanics that are simple once you get them, or simple once you start looking at the game in a way that you're looking at basic objectives for a kill squad, basic objectives for a funnel, basic objectives for entering a base, and then basic objectives for the back end. Once you can sort of put all of those pieces together, and it's just a way of thinking, and it's not going to change the way that you play the game. Like, you're not going to have to learn how to like redeploy troops in any way, shape, or form. It's going to be a new set of tools to look at the game with before you choose an attack and before you go in and take an attack in war. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's probably too long of a video as it is. I'm going to post this up on Discord. I'd like you all to take a look. Definitely not a professional YouTuber, but I hope it helps. At any rate, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.